The crate was a good hiding place, but I couldn't stay there forever. It was risky, but I thought I could get to the next crate unseen. The gangplank crossed a collection of heaving litter. I suppose the Thames was under it somewhere. The Xibalba Princess lay at anchor just below Tower Bridge. I knew I'd found the right ship as soon as I saw Pablo at the rail. A guard patrolled the deck. He was sure to be armed. It was the door to the boat's main cabin. It was a porthole to the main cabin. It looked like the door to some sort of utility locker. Metal hooks had been welded onto each side of the doorframe. A mop for swabbing the deck stood against the wall. It was Tower Bridge, a magnificent mess of mock Gothic architecture and Victorian engineering. It was the Tower of London, originally built by the French, naturally. It was then that I realized that there was no lock. Got you.
But the collar woman was there. They'll know it was me.
But you have the stone. The right stone, you're sure?
Yes, of course, it's the Jaguar stone. No possible mistake. Here it is. Karzac, please. The police will be looking for me soon. You're going to get me out of the country, aren't you?
Stop your whining, Oublier. Do you have any idea what this stone symbolizes?
I thought you just wanted it to frighten the natives.
Fool. I intend to cast this stone into the sea.
But why? It's unique.
Exactly. With it gone, the Mayan priest's plan to destroy Tezcatlipoca cannot succeed.
I can assure you that Tezcatlipoca is a mythical figure.
Such a small mind you live in. Tezcatlipoca is real. I have seen him in my dreams. We have spoken of his plans for this world. We have spoken of your part in these plans.
My part?
He told me you would be useful. He told me how to crush your spirit by turning you to drugs.
My wife died. You know that full well. She was my world, my everything.
And now, you are no longer useful. She called out your name as she died, you know.
What? What are you saying?
And then they thought you'd done it. It all worked perfectly.
You? It was you? You bastard! You monster! For the love of God, Karzac!
Which one?
It was the jaguar stone that Oublier had stolen from the museum. It was identical in size and shape to the coyote stone. A stylized carving of a jaguar decorated one side. Oublier lay sprawled across the table. There were no signs of life, but I checked that Oublier really was beyond help. We were going to need the stone to thwart Karzac. I knew Oublier would have approved. It was the jaguar stone, all right.
Pirates? I was about to make good my escape when...
What? Who the hell are you?
I can explain everything.
Don't bother.
I'm sorry. I didn't realize you were making a movie.
So who are you?
Stobart. George Stobart. 2 B's and 2 T's.
It's okay, Mr. Hawks. He wasn't in the shot.
Hawks? This had to be Carlton Hawks, the newest enfant terrible of Tinseltown. I'd read about him. Mailroom boy makes good. Nice to know it was still possible to get to be a director armed with only an encyclopedic knowledge of postal charges.
Stay out of the way, surfer boy. I'll deal with you later.
Surfer boy? The great director. Well, that's what his pose was supposed to say. He reminded me of Ed Wood.
What's the name of the movie?
Are you trying to be funny?
No.
It's Treasure Island, the only book I ever read twice.
I don't recall any girls in Treasure Island.
Gotta think box office. People like that kind of thing.
What other changes have you made to the story?
Just a few minor details.
You haven't written out Long John Silver.
Are you questioning my integrity as an artist? Of course Silver's still in it. We've even hung on to Captain Flint.
His parrot.
His trained attack falcon. Why do you think Blind Pew's blind?
Did you say you've changed the ending of the story?
That's right.
Do they find the treasure?
Yeah, but that comes later, after they've escaped the volcanic eruption.
A volcano?
Sure. Krakatoa.
All the millions spent on a movie, and nobody thinks to buy an atlas. Who's playing Jim Hawkins?
Haiku McEwen. Oh, don't tell me you've never heard of him.
I don't go to the movies too often.
Jeez. Haiku is only the hottest teen star in Hollywood. That's why we're on such a tight schedule. Gotta film the close-ups before he hits puberty.
Who's the leading lady?
Don't you recognize her? That's Sharon Kowalski.
Oh, right. I'd never heard of her. You know what the locals call this place, don't you?
No, but I guess you're gonna tell me.
Zombie Island.
Zombies?
A crazed gleam came into his eye.
Get me the writers. Get me makeup. I want zombie pirates in this movie by the end of today.
It was a camera, mounted on a precarious dolly, or whatever they call them. It was the cameraman.
Hi, I'm George Stobart.
My name's Harris. Most people call me Flash.
You're the cameraman, right?
That's right.
Why'd they call you Flash? You used to be a stills photographer?
Nope.
I decided not to pursue the subject. There was nothing else I wanted to ask the cameraman. He was a middle-aged man with a pock-marked face.
Hi, George Stobart.
Hello, mate.
You're English, right?
Blimey, you don't miss much, do you? Bert Savage. Have you seen what the caterers laid on today? Buns and pancakes.
That's awful.
It's an improvement on yesterday. The buns are stale, but the pancakes are bloody lovely.
How long have you been in the movie business?
Flipping years, mate. Absolutely flipping years. I was in the army before that. Thought to myself, you've been risking your bleeding neck every day, why not cash in on it like?
So you became a stuntman, just like that?
Nah, of course not. I had to do the training first.
What training does a stuntman do?
First they told me to stand in the road. Then they run me down. Straight up. Drove at me with a car. I couldn't believe it. I was up on the bonnet and over the other side before I realised he wasn't stopping. Then they threw me downstairs a bit and gives me a certificate.
Did you ever work with Carol Climax?
The Dirty Dachshund? I'll say. Flipping princess, mate.
I heard she was very beautiful.
Mind you, she acted like one too. Ordering this, demanding that.
Did you ever meet Bertrand Oubier?
Meet him? No. I saw him a few times though. He didn't like his wife being in films.
Do you think Oubier murdered his wife?
I wouldn't be surprised if he did. Mind you, there were plenty of people who could have done her in.
I thought the public loved her.
Yeah, but people who knew her saw the other side.
Have you ever seen anything like this before?
What's that, mate? Stone axe?
No, it's just a piece of polished stone.
Very nice indeed. Shine it up a bit, you get a few bob for that.
It was a plate of buns. The bun was so stale it felt like a small rock. It was a pile of pancakes which were being devoured by Bert. He couldn't get enough of them. There was a pot of delicious-looking maple syrup on the table. It looked even worse than the ones I'd just been through. I'd seen a lot of strange things on this island, but here was a bush that was buzzing. It was the famous movie star, Sharon somebody or other. Hey there, I'm George Stobart.
Well, hi, handsome. You're cute. I wish it was you playing the lead male instead of that kid.
I can't act, ma'am.
So what? I bet you can kiss.
I couldn't believe I was having this conversation with a real movie star. What's it like sharing the spotlight with an actor who's young enough to be your son?
What do you mean?
What do you think of Hawk's treatment of Treasure Island?
It's okay, I guess. I never saw the original.
It's a book. One of my favorites.
Really? The novelization's out already?
What part are you playing?
Pirate Babs, the ruthless and passionate lady buccaneer. It's a great part. I get to kiss a lot, and I kick ass. Like the boots?
Would you like this bun?
All right. Oh, wait a minute. Hawks is watching me. Don't let him see it. Oh, he's looking right at me.
What's the matter?
Never mind. Just put that cake away and pretend you weren't talking to me.
What do you think of these?
Ew, they're awful.
You have no idea how much you've just gone up in my estimation. Take a look at this ancient Mayan artifact.
That's just a hunk of stone with a picture scratched on it.
In a way, I guess. You don't happen to have seen anything similar, have you?
No.
I found this reed in the swamp on the other side of the island.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and I used it to shoot a poisoned dart at a wild boar. It was a real-life drama, not just a scene from a movie.
Right.
She was having trouble with the whole real life is not a movie concept. The stockade was surrounded by a dry moat filled with sharp wooden stakes. It was a plank balanced precariously on a barrel. More Davy Crockett than Long John Silver. It was teen idol Haiku McEwen in his first starring role. Hi there, George Stobart.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Haiku McEwen.
You're playing Jim Hawkins, right?
Jimbo. I had Mr. Hawks change his name.
Jimbo Hawkins, right. Is your name really Haiku?
Yeah. It was my mom's idea, okay? When I was born, I was so small and perfectly formed I reminded her of a Japanese poem.
Well, I guess it could have been worse. She could have called you Limerick.
That's my middle name.
Did you always want to be an actor?
I don't think of what I do as acting, man.
You're not alone.
It's more like I'm the voice of my generation. What I'm saying for the kids on the street.
Which is what? I'm crap, I'm going nowhere?
Huh? What are you saying, man?
Stobart, get out of shot. Positions, everybody.
I'll get a flip chart and explain it to you later, Haiku.
Haiku, baby, are you ready?
Okay, man. Which scene is this?
You've been captured by Silver's accomplice, Pirate Babs, who's fallen in love with you.
That whirring sound you can hear? It's Robert Louis Stevenson spinning in his grave.
Okay, people, top of page 76, Sharon.
What about my big speech?
It's been cut. Everybody ready?
Up to speed.
Quiet on the set. Okay, let's make magic.
Oh, please.
And action!
Why don't you forget that dumb old squire and his bunch of merry men? Can't you see we were made for each other?
I know, but Squire Trelawney saved my life, Captain Babs. Why, if it hadn't have been for him, that giant octopus would have made mincemeat out of me.
But right now he thinks you're a traitor. He's locked you out of the stockade, Jimbo.
That 20-foot high wall with spikes might have kept out Silver's men, but it ain't gonna stop me.
Oh, Jimbo.
And cut! Good heavy breathing, Sharon.
Natch, I'm a pro.
Did you get the heavy breathing, Flash?
Did I ever, boss? We should have made this movie in 3D.
Haiku, you were great. We're setting up for the stunt now, so get a bite to eat. Savage, on set, damn it.
Hey, Haiku.
Yeah, man.
Would you like a bun?
No way, man. I have to be careful what I eat.
Yeah. Never eat anything smarter than yourself. I may not be making millions of dollars, and I may not have thousands of nubile, if uncritical, young women lusting for my body, but I've got something that you haven't. This small piece of coal.
Man, you're getting freaky on me.
It was Bert, the aging stuntman. Would you like a bun?
No way. The last one I tried cracked my dentures.
Would you like this pot of syrup?
No thanks, mate. I don't like the stuff.
It was a pancake covered in maple syrup. Would you like a pancake, Bert?
Don't mind if I do.
The pancake oozed maple syrup all over Bert's chins.
Ew, you put bloody syrup on that pancake. Now it's messed me all up.
Those hornets were not pleased.
that camera rolling. This could be good. Cut and printed. That was brilliant, folks. Okay, the next scene is down on the beach. This is where Hawkins finds the treasure in the Cave of the Crabs.
Would those be giant killer crabs by any chance?
Giant mutant killer crabs with attitude.
There it was, the rock I'd seen from the camel's hump. Now that I was close up, I could make out a small cave near the top of the pillar.
Hey, you! Trouble!
Who, me?
I want you to stay right where I can keep an eye on you.
I'm not one of your lackeys, Hawks. I go where I like.
Not here, you don't. The movie company has rented this island for the duration. You're trespassing. Do as you're told or you're gone.
There it was, the column of rock I'd seen from the camel's hump. It was a lot taller than I'd expected. Poor old Bert looked in a bad way. Wasn't a surprise, considering what I'd put him through at the stockade. Hi, Bert.
Don't you eye me. Fine friend you turned out to be.
What's the problem?
Huh.
What's it like to work with Carlton Hawk?
Flipping misery, mate.
Look, Bert, what's wrong?
You got a bloody nerve. If I didn't know better, I'd have thought you gave me that pancake just so them hornets would go for me.
Oh, Bert, you've wounded me. How can you think that?
Well, by looking at the evidence.
I don't know why you still want to be a stuntman anyway.
Which is all I know, isn't it? If I don't do this, what do I do?
Well, how about being a stunt coordinator?
Being a what?
You stand around in a big jacket and a baseball cap, telling the stunt people what to do.
I can do that.
Hey, you've done the job for years and you're not dead. That's gotta be good for morale.
Well, I dunno.
You get your own megaphone.
I'll do it.
George Stobart, international adventurer and roaming careers advisor. What films have you worked on in the past?
Remember Death Stalker of the 10th grade? The psychotic biker what crashed into the school bus? That was me. Or what about They Prayed to Satan? I was the bloke in the hospital scene. You know, the one who caught fire, fell through the flipping skylight.
I don't think I caught those. Must be cool getting to travel the world like this.
Yeah, nice here, innit? My Beryl used to love the seaside. Day out at Clacton. Bloody smashing. A pint of jelly deals washed down with a bottle of brown. Quick feel on a big wheel and a stroll around the town. Course, them days, you could live like a flipping king on 10 bob a night. Tombola, frothy coffee at the cap of the prom.
You know, I don't have the faintest idea what you're talking about. I've had a great idea. How about you dress up as Jim Hawkins and climb up to that cave over there?
What cave? That cave? You must think I'm balmy. I did me back in being chased by them hornets over that flaming stockade wall. No way am I going up there.
Well, that narrowed the field. It was a portable movie camera. The little tent was like a canvas outhouse. It was the cameraman. He didn't look happy. What do you think of Haiku McEwen?
What's to think? The kid will have earned more by the time his balls drop than I'll earn in a lifetime. Good luck to him.
I was talking to Mr. Savage, the stuntman. Is he all right?
What makes you say that?
He's not making any sense.
The guy's English.
Why don't you use that cave up on the rock pillar at the end of the beach?
We don't have a stuntman anymore.
Hey, I'll do the stunt.
I appreciate the offer, but if you fall, you'll sue us.
No, I won't.
Everybody hear that?
I heard it.
Good enough, we're covered. Got any experience?
Death-defying leaps, desperate fistfights, getting caught in explosions, you name it.
Okay, people, move out. We're shooting the scene at the end of the beach.
No, we're not. The camera's still bogged down.
Shoot, I forgot about that. No go, Stobart. We'll have to use this cave after all.
You don't look happy.
Why should I be happy? Look at that cave. It's supposed to be where the treasure is.
So?
Look at it. It's crap. Does that look like the sort of place anybody would hide treasure? I should have had props build me a proper damn cave. A cinematic cave.
What do you mean, a cinematic cave?
One with drama. Danger. One that looks like the mouth of a big stone skull would be cool, but I'd settle for drama and danger.
Mr. Hawks doesn't like that cave. He says it isn't cinematic enough.
Well, that's just too tough. The camera's bogged down in the sand. If he wants the shot done today, it'll have to be that cave.
There's a pretty good cave over on the other side of the bay.
The one up in that finger of rock? We'd need a stuntman.
You got a stuntman.
We ain't got no stuntman. Bird injured his back doing that dumb wall jump.
There was nothing else I wanted to ask him. Flash?
Yep.
We can't film at the Needle Rock because the camera's bogged down, right?
You got it, champ.
So why can't we use the portable camera instead?
You know, that's a pretty smart idea.
I've been talking to the cameraman. He's got a portable camera.
So?
So you can use the cave in that rock pillar at the end of the beach. That's a dramatic cave if ever I saw one.
We ain't got a stabilized harness for it. The camera'll wobble.
Did D.W. Griffiths have a stabilized harness when he made Birth of a Nation?
You're right, damn it. Hitchcock, Wells, none of them needed one. For crying out loud, Sam Raimi stabilized his camera on a plank. Props, get me a plank. We're gonna wing it. Hot dog. We're gonna do a cinema verite pirate movie. George, get to wardrobe. We're gonna make you a star.
On my way. Ready when you are, Mr. Hawks. Stone which Ketchum captured from the Spanish. The Eagle Stone.
I returned to Quaramonte and found that George had left a message with Conchita. He'd already left for the Indian village, so I hurried to catch up with him. When I arrived, I found a scene of desolation. These sunglasses are George's. George, where are you? Titipoco, I'm almost glad to see you. You little asshole! What happened here? Are you responsible for this? And where's George? Have you seen him? He was pointing to the remains of a burned-out hut. One thing I was sure of, those underpants weren't George's. Maybe George can make use of these. That barrel would have looked great on my patio, filled with shrubs. It was Tezcatlipoca. I still hadn't forgiven him for knocking me out with his poisoned dart. These are George's shades, right? Has he been here?
Jaws!
Where is he now? What's that? It looks like the stone we bought from Paris, but it's different. Yes, it has a carving of an eagle. That clinches it. George must have found this stone in the Caribbean and managed to hide the stone when the village was attacked by Karzac's men. I hope to God that George was all right. Where's George? George has been here, right? He was pointing to the smoldering remains of a hut. I was sure Tezcatlipoca wasn't pointing at that barrel. It was a very hot and blackened stone. It was a smashed lantern, probably the cause of this destruction. It was too hot to pick up. I just didn't have the strength to tip that barrel. Hey, Shorty! Make yourself useful and help me with this barrel. Thanks. The ground was covered with ashes. It was the coyote stone, the original stone that I found in Paris. I had the coyote and jaguar stones. Tezcatlipoca had the eagle, according to the shaman. That's all we needed to deal with Tezcatlipoca. Pity he hadn't any ideas for dealing with Karzac. What is it? Where are you pointing? We arrived to find George being led up the stairs. We clearly didn't have much time. It was a length of strong rope. Would you like some chocolate, Tezcatlipoca? It's good vintage. You're smarter than you look. How did you hook up with a maniac like Karzac in the first place?
Karzac? Whoop whoop loco!
Yes, he scares me too. Tezcatlipoca, any ideas what I can do with this rope? He just looked at me. If anybody was going to come up with a plan, it was going to have to be me. The scaffold gantry went all the way up the pyramid. The engine looked like it was supposed to power the lift. The cap was attached to the lift engine by a chain. There was a lever mounted on the side of the motor. It was a small but very enticing button. It was an old electricity generator. It was a small screw-fit cylindrical housing. It looked like a fuel line. It looked like a fuel line. The fuel from the severed line had formed a pool. There was nothing I wanted to ask him. Tezcatlipoca, I have an important job for you. Take this rope to the top of this scaffolding and throw it over the top.
Rope.
The rope hung down from the top of the gantry. It was a small screw-fit cylindrical housing. The motor spluttered into life. Tezcatlipoca, when I tell you, I want you to copy what I am doing.
Copy.
It was a simple wooden platform lift, used for shifting equipment, I presumed. Okay? Copy. George! I realized those bastards were going to sacrifice George to Tezcatlipoca over my dead body. Thankfully, George was the only one to notice me.
Where are they? The eclipse is about to happen.
Patience. Your mother will be here soon and Karzac will be close behind. Just keep the Yankee covered and leave the worrying to others.
Yeah, Raoul.
The maniacs were going to sacrifice George!
Shut up, Stobart. Just shut up!
Calm down. He's no threat.
Hey, Raoul, why don't you do us both a favor and shoot Pablo?
You're very funny, Stobart. I haven't forgotten Marseille. When Karzac cuts your heart out, I'll be the one laughing.
I'll bet I'm not the only one due for the chop around here either. Hey, Raoul?
I'm warning you.
Raoul was a bundle of raw nerves. I hoped George wouldn't push him too far. There were a few sealed crates and drums. None of them looked like they might be useful. Karzac's goons had left an ammunition belt lying around. It was Pablo, Karzac's right-hand sadist. General Raoul Graziento. I didn't fancy Raoul's chances once Karzac didn't need him anymore. It was a stone table. Given the history of the place, I wondered how many poor wretches had lost their lives and hearts upon it. I might have been able to talk the general around if Pablo hadn't been there.
Hey, señorita.
Too late. I had been seen.
Bonjour, Capitaine.
Only Sergeant, pretty one. What are you doing here?
Snuggles said I could come here with him.
Snuggles?
Oh, I mean the general. We're, friends. May I go up the pyramid?
We have strict instructions not to let anybody pass.
Oh, but I've told you who I am. Surely nobody would mind.
Well,
Oh, please, I'd be ever so grateful.
I tell you what. I'll ask Pablo if it's okay for you to go up.
If Pablo saw me, I'd be dead. No, it's not worth the bother. I'm not really that interested in their stupid pyramid anyway.
Well, okay. It's men's work up there anyway.
I'll just run along and play around here, okay?
Okay, you do that.
It looked like Karzac was using Quaramontean troops and local Indians as his guards. There was an unlit torch by the base of the steps. Tezcatlipoca, do you still have that lighter gun you pulled on me so amusingly?
What's going on over there? Do you need help, my pretty?
Nothing's wrong. I dropped, a cigarette butt. Everything is under control. I'll have the fire out in a minute or two. It was a round of ammunition.
What's that? What's happening?
Trouble.
Give it up. The pyramid's surrounded.
I'll find out what the trouble is. Watch Stobart doesn't pull any tricks. If he does, shoot him in the head, not through the heart.
Why does it matter? He'll be dead either way.
His heart belongs to Tezcatlipoca.
That's not true. We just had dinner a couple of times.
It smelled coppery, like blood. The whole place stank like an abattoir. Drop the gun or I shoot!
Please, don't hurt me!
Don't worry yourself, my finger isn't loaded.
Nico, what are you doing here?
Firstly, I'm going to set George free, and then screw up Karzac's scheme.
No, I can't let you do that. Karzac has promised me power!
Raoul, wake up. The only thing Karzac has on offer is death. You may want to ask Oublier, except you can't. Karzac murdered him.
You're lying. Oubier's in Europe.
Sure, he's in Europe. In London, on a mortuary slab with 2 bullet holes in him.
But Karzac promised. When he frees Tezcatlipoca, we'll all be granted great power.
Listen to her, Raoul. Karzac's insane.
I don't know. I need to think.
You've let your mother do your thinking for you up to now. You need to think for yourself. Your mother and Karzac think alike. There's only one expendable member of the plan left, and that's you.
Mother would never betray me.
Oh, I'm tired of trying to reason with you, Raoul. Titipoco. Watch this man, and if he makes a move, shoot him with your gun. The Mask of Tezcatlipoca. A warning to the curious. Shame Karzac had ignored it. The entrance to the house of the enemy. I hadn't been so close to pure evil since, well, last autumn. Hold still, George. I don't want to sacrifice you by accident.
You have no idea how glad I am to see you.
They were going to cut your heart out. I think I can guess. We can save the happy reunions for later. We've got to move. Come on!
We're safe.
This is a dead end.
We're toast. I know, Titipoco. I'm not too happy here either.
He knows this is Tezcatlipoca's pyramid. The house of the enemy.
Well, we can't stay here like rats in a trap.
And we can't go out the way we came in. It would be suicide. I'll have a look round. Maybe there's another way out. In the meantime... Take this. It's the Coyote Stone. It might bring you luck, I hope.
You managed to recover the stones from the village? Then we might have a chance after all. Incidentally, what would Titipoco have done if Graciento had moved?
Titipoco? Nothing. He's given up violence. It was Titipoco. This was a time for action, not talk. It was George, just rescued from certain death and not looking suitably grateful. George?
Yeah?
There was nothing I wanted to talk to George about just then. On the wall was an intricate pattern in blue and gold. By the door was a pattern picked out in blue. There was a large image on the wall of a man in ceremonial garb. More usefully, there were also a couple of levers. The lever was made of stone. Oof! The lever was very difficult to move and appeared to do nothing anyway. Heave! Still no good. George?
Yeah?
George, I can only pull one lever at a time, and I think we need to pull both together.
Okay, I'm up for that.
Raoul, there's something suspicious. This sacrifice! Where is it?
Nico was here with Titipoco. They set him free. I couldn't stop them.
You idiot! I should have strangled you at birth. Titipoco's gone soft. He wouldn't have hurt you.
I know that.
The darkness of the sun is almost upon us, and we have no sacrifice to appease Tezcatlipoca. Have you any idea what your incompetence will cost us?
I think so. And I'm glad.
What?
The Mayans weren't fools. Tezcatlipoca should stay exactly where they put him.
Finally got some backbone from somewhere, huh? Shame it's so late in the day.
I'd rather die than see you and Karzac with that devil's power.
Fine, we're still a sacrifice short. See, the eclipse begins. Pablo, kill him! Tezcatlipoca can feed upon his yellow heart.
Nico was right all along, but it's still not too late. Come on then, Pablo. Let's see who sacrifices who.
What place is this? I was in some sort of strange room. Tiles and dials. The priests who designed this place must have known how to use them. I was going to have to figure it out for myself if I ever wanted to get out of here. It was the great stone head that had spat me out. It reminded me of an ex-boyfriend, on both counts. The room was dominated by an enormous device, decorated with the usual Mayan motifs. It held two great discs, each covered in glyphs. The tile moved slightly. The tile moved inwards and clicked home. Et voilà! George once told me that there's a knack to finding secret doors. I think I'm beginning to get the hang of it. It was the secret exit that I had revealed by solving the glyphs puzzle.
So I thought, this is it, you know? This is true love. Anyway, I have to leave for a few weeks, and when I come back, what do I find? Damn right. And with who? Labano, that creep.
Huh?
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. Oh, heck. Looks like another dead-end Tezcatlipoca. Any ideas? I was hoping for something a little more constructive. Never mind, I'll have a look around. There was a torch in a sconce by the doorway. Look, I need to light this torch. Can you do something clever with a couple of sticks, or flint and tinder, or... or a cheesy novelty cigarette lighter, as it turned out. It was Tezcatlipoca, a new friend and a good listener to boot. I had nothing else I wanted to ask the little guy. A really creepy statue. The figure held a skull and a bowl, probably for a heart to go in. Yuck! There was a picture of somebody holding a torch and another guy with a lever. The lever was real. Well, there was nothing else to do around here, so I pulled the lever. Nothing's happened. Oh, I hate that. Don't you hate that? Tezcatlipoca? Oh my... Great. I had no idea where I was, no idea where the others had got to, and time was running out to stop Karzac. Still, I wasn't dead yet, so it wasn't all bad news. There was a lever on the wall. The torch didn't look like it was going to burn for much longer. A stone slab that must have weighed tons sealed the door. Charming. Lovely. Looks like my school gym teacher. There was a stone lever to the right of the doorway. Another huge stone doorway. To the left of the door was a stone lever. Every time I think this place can't get any spookier, it does. How rapoosh. The carving reminded me of Lane for some reason. There was a lever mounted on the wall. Another one of those stone levers. Yes, finally! I'm out of here. There was an unused torch up on the wall. The torch was fine where it was. There was an unused torch up on the wall. Once more into the unknown. There was a lever camouflaged within the wall design. Cool. Onwards and downwards, Mr. Stobart. This was it. The pyramid's central chamber. Its dark heart. Once before in my life, I'd stood in front of a door and thought, this is it. If I go through there, I'm going to die. I'd been wrong then. I hoped I was wrong now. This was the door that led to the central chamber and the smoking mirror.
Thousands of years trying to chase something that's staring us in the face. When life has lost all its peace and you're feeling flat, you must remember that happiness is an inside job. If your name is Mary, if your name is Bob, it's up to you if you sing or sob. Remember, happiness is an inside job. A lot of people travel in search of the sun, flying and fishing, looking for fun. But it isn't easy leaving cares behind. And pretty soon you'll find happiness is an inside job. If your name is Mary, if your name is Bob, it's up to you if you sing or sob. Remember, happiness is an inside job. You can have a house on top of the hill, bank accounts worth a couple of mil. to